I would, in fact, make sure that we immediately surge to the border. All those people are seeking asylum. They deserve to be heard. That's who we are. We're a nation that says if you want to flee and you're fleeing oppression, you should come.
¿Quién es mejor para el inmigrante ilegal? Donald Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. ¿Cuál es mejor, Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden, de igual manera.
Joe Biden. Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Trump or Joe Biden?
Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. Trump or Joe Biden?
Es el Joe Biden.
Joe Biden. We're asking for Joe Biden to help us accomplish our dreams here, and so we can get ahead.
Migrants near the southern border in Arizona revealing which presidential candidate they prefer when it comes to illegal immigration, as both Trump and Biden are heading to the border this week on Thursday.
2 million people cross this border for the first time ever. You're confident this border is secure?
We have a secure border in that is a priority for any nation, including ours and our administration.
We need something. Americans want sanity and an end to the lawlessness at the border.
The president is not using his executive authority to do any of those things that Congress has already authorized. The president does not need new laws. The president needs a backbone to make sure that he enforces the immigration laws that are already on the book.
The idea that Republicans, in order to win an election, say we need to hermetically seal the border when they know that is economic self-sabotage to the U.S. economy. And they are saying, let's do it anyway. That is what they are doing in rolling back child labor laws while being as xenophobic and anti-immigrant as they are, and while ginning up this false narrative about this being a crisis.
The overwhelming sentiment in that meeting is we got to do Ukraine now. And there are other issues, including border, which we should address, but not now. We said to the speaker, get it done.
The first priority of the country is our border and making sure it's secure. It's time for action. It is a catastrophe, and it must stop.
Meanwhile, President Biden and former President Trump are both planning trips to the southern border tomorrow. Biden will travel to Brownsville, Texas, where Trump plans to deliver remarks 325 miles away in Eagle Pass, Texas. The number of recent illegal migrant apprehensions at the Brownsville station have been some of the lowest across the southern border, by the way. Brownsville reporting just 12 migrant apprehensions on Monday, 12. Eagle Pass saw over 500 on the same day. The Border Patrol Union is slamming Biden's border trip, calling it too little, too late, David. I mean, why is he going now? Is it because it's an election year? He hasn't done anything in 3 years.
$3,000 a month in freebies. $500 a night at a hotel, $130 a day for food, and having 2 kids in public school costs us $5,000 a month.
Even like $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month to live in hotels and buy things and stuff. I'm like, aren't we the ones in need? The people from the United States? Well, on top of that, we're giving away money to other countries. We're the ones in need. Like, this is ridiculous. That's why I've never voted in my life, and I'm voting this year for Trump.
22-year-old nursing student in Georgia, Laken Riley, allegedly killed by a migrant. Governor Brian Kemp is now blaming the White House over its border policy. Our senior national correspondent, Steve Osunsami, is in Athens, Georgia, with more. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning to you, Robin. Authorities say that this young woman died of blunt force trauma and say that the man they have in custody used an object to kill her. Federal immigration authorities have now issued what's called a detainer for this murder suspect, which, had they done earlier, would have kept him from being released after his other arrests.
Students at the University of Georgia came together to say good things and to say goodbye to 22-year-old Laken Hope Riley.
It is so obvious to me why it feels so dark right now, and that is because we lost one of the brightest lights that there's ever been.
The nursing student from a school nearby was killed on the UGA campus while she was out jogging last week, and her murder has become a case in point in the debate over immigration in America. Police say that her alleged killer is this man, 26-year-old Jose Antonio Ibarra. He's from Venezuela, and according to federal officials, was let go after he was arrested for unlawfully entering the country near El Paso, Texas, a year and a half ago. Georgia's governor is demanding answers from President Biden and his immigration authorities.
Laken's death is a direct result of failed policies on the federal level and an unwillingness by this White House to secure the southern
crisis we're seeing unfolding is what Joe Biden campaigned on. It's what he believes and it's what he intends to continue doing. Every day, the Biden body bags are building up and more people are dying. More and more children are being brutalized. More and more women are being sexually assaulted. And I got to say, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, the Democrats in office, they do not care. This is deliberate. You know, look, you talk about Laken Riley, a beautiful 22-year-old nursing student in Georgia, murdered. And I'm here to tell you right now that is the direct result of policy and political decisions by Joe Biden and by Democrats. You look at the Venezuelan murderer. Number one, he came in illegally to this country. The Biden administration apprehended him. You know what they should have done? They should have put him on a plane and sent him back to Venezuela immediately, but they didn't. Joe Biden decided to let him go, just to release him. So they released the murderer. But then the murderer goes to New York City. And what happens? He's arrested for endangering the safety of a child. And then what happens? The Democrats in New York City, they let him go. And they don't inform the federal officials. They don't want him deported because New York City is proudly a sanctuary city. So they let him go again. And he comes down to Georgia and he murders that young woman. You just played Joe Biden there saying, well, we're not going to deport any illegal who commits drunk driving. Well, let me ask every American who lost a friend or family or loved one to drunk driving, why is it that the Democrats are proudly saying we want criminals who drive drunk here? What they're saying, it is offensive, it is harmful, it is dangerous, and it is a cynical politics that puts partisan gain above protecting the lives and the safety of American citizens.
Why did you come?
Take money.
Money?
Yes.
For job?
Yes.
There's no job in China.
Maybe, I don't know.
Customs and Border Protection officials arrested more than 22,000 people from China illegally crossing into the United States. That's roughly 13 times more in the same time last year.
Look outside and you see all of the horror. You see millions and millions of people coming across the border illegally. We don't know where they come from.
We're looking live at the Fox News flight team over Chinese migrants trying to cross the southern border illegally.
There were no Border Patrol agents in sight. Where are you guys from?
Turkey.
Turkey?
Yes.
China. What city in the U.S. do you want to go to?
Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. L.A.? Los Angeles, okay. Over the weekend, hundreds of Chinese nationals crossed illegally into Hukumba, and the number of Chinese arriving is exploding. CBP sources tell Fox in the 4.5 months since October 1st, more than 20,000 Chinese nationals have been encountered at the southern border. That's up more than 4,000% over all of fiscal year 2021, when only 450 Chinese were encountered. Fox's Griff Jenkins also encountered a group of men from Syria yesterday.
Where are you from?
Syria.
Why are you coming to the U.S.?
Because we love America.
Of course, these countries that are enemies to us, that want to see our government fall, of course they're going to be sending people when they know that all we're going to do is release them into the country.
Yeah, so here we are at Eagle Pass, and we're going to be meeting with the sort of the major officials and law enforcement responsible for the border, and just hear directly from them and see exactly what's going on for yourself. The fact that we are seeing all-time highs in illegal processing, and that ramp is increasing.
Yes.
So these are really important points because the public isn't. I think it's not necessarily clear to the public. Is this normal, or are we seeing an accelerating crisis? What is the total number from all locations roughly?
In the millions. I mean, it's literally millions, and those are just the folks that we know have engaged. And we are repatriating or sending zero back. Zero.
So zero is quite a small number.
Yeah, exactly.